Once upon a time, nestled in the rolling green hills of Maplewood, a small, friendly town in the heart of America, there was a secret that only the bravest and most curious children had ever discovered. On the edge of town, where the wildflowers grew tall and the trees swayed in the wind, stood an ancient, moss-covered rock. It was no ordinary rock, and although it looked plain to most, it held a secret that had been whispered about for generations. This, dear listener, is the story of the secret of the talking rock. In Maplewood, there lived a young girl named Ellie. Ellie was 8 years old, with twinkling brown eyes and a wild mop of curly hair. She loved adventure, stories, and exploring new places with her best friend Max. Max was a clever boy, always thinking up new games, and together, they were the sort of friends who could turn even the most ordinary afternoon into a grand expedition. One sunny Saturday morning, Ellie woke up to the sound of birds singing outside her window. She leaped out of bed, hurried through breakfast, and ran to Max's house, her backpack bouncing as she skipped along the sidewalk. "Max, let's go exploring!" Ellie called, knocking excitedly on his door. Max appeared, already wearing his favorite blue cap and carrying a magnifying glass. "Where to today?" he asked, grinning. Ellie thought for a moment, then whispered, "Let's go to the old meadow by the woods. I heard there's a mysterious rock there. Some kids say it can talk." Max's eyebrows shot up. "A talking rock? That sounds impossible." The secret of the talking rock. Ellie just shrugged, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Come on, let's see for ourselves." The two friends set out, their sneakers crunching over the gravel, their hearts full of anticipation. They passed Mrs. Jenkins's bakery, where the smell of fresh bread drifted through the air, and waved at Mr. Patterson, who was watering his garden. Finally, they made their way through the tall grass of the meadow, butterflies fluttering around them, until they reached the edge of the woods. There, half hidden under a blanket of moss and wildflowers, was the rock. It was bigger than Ellie had expected, almost as tall as she was, and shaped a bit like a giant egg. Its surface was covered in strange, swirling patterns, and it seemed to shimmer in the sunlight. "Wow," Max whispered, running his hand along the rough surface. "It's so old. Do you think it's really magic?" Ellie knelt down beside the rock. "Let's find out." They waited, listening, but all they heard was the gentle rustle of leaves and the distant chirp of a cricket. Ellie tried tapping the rock, but nothing happened. Max pressed his ear to the stone, but it was silent. "Maybe we have to say something special," Ellie suggested. "Like a password." Max grinned. "How about open sesame?" Ellie giggled and tried it. "Open sesame!" Still nothing. They tried every magic word they could think of. Abracadabra, hocus pocus, alakazam. But the rock remained quiet. Ellie sighed, flopping onto the grass. Maybe it only talks at night time. Or maybe it's just a story after all. But Max wasn't ready to give up. He studied the patterns on the rock, tracing them with his finger. "Look, there's something carved here. It looks like a riddle." Ellie scrambled to her feet and peered closer. Sure enough, hidden among the swirls were the faint shapes of letters, "To those who seek and those who find. Speak from your heart, and I will reply in kind." Ellie's eyes widened. "Maybe we have to talk to it, from our heart." Taking a deep breath, Ellie placed her hand on the rock. "Hello, rock. My name is Ellie, and this is my friend Max. We're kind and curious, and we love adventures. If you really can talk, we'd love to hear your story." For a moment, nothing happened. Then, to their astonishment, the rock began to glow with a soft golden light. The air shimmered, and a gentle rumbling voice echoed from deep within the stone. "Greetings, Ellie and Max. You have spoken with kindness and courage. I am the Stoneheart, keeper of Maplewood's oldest secrets. Few have dared to speak from the heart. What would you like to know?" Max's mouth dropped open in amazement. "It's really talking." Ellie's mind raced with questions. "Stoneheart, how long have you been here? What secrets do you keep?" The rock's light pulsed warmly. I have rested in this meadow for 1,000 years, watching over the land and its people. My greatest secret is the story of the heart of Maplewood, a treasure hidden not of gold or jewels, but of friendship, kindness, and courage. Long ago, children from every generation came to me, seeking answers. Those who listened and learned discovered that the real magic is not in ancient stones, but in the hearts of those who care for one another. The friends listened spellbound as Stoneheart's voice continued. In times of darkness, when the people of Maplewood were afraid or lonely, it was the laughter and love of children that brought light back to the town. The heart of Maplewood is a gift that grows every time someone shares a smile, helps a neighbor, or stands up for what's right. Ellie felt a warm glow in her chest. So the real treasure is being a good friend? Exactly, Stoneheart replied. And now you are part of this story. Whenever you need courage, remember the heart of Maplewood lives inside you. Max looked thoughtful. Can you tell us more stories, Stoneheart? The rock rumbled with gentle laughter. Of course, but stories are meant to be shared. Will you promise to share what you learn with others? Ellie and Max nodded eagerly. We promise. And so, the friends spent the afternoon listening to Stoneheart's tales. They heard about the time the town rallied together to save a baby deer lost in the snow. The story of a boy who built a treehouse for everyone to share, and the legend of a girl who taught the entire town the value of kindness with a single brave act. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with streaks of orange and pink, Ellie and Max knew it was time to head home. They thanked Stoneheart, promising to visit again soon. As they walked back through the meadow, Max turned to Ellie. Do you think anyone will believe us? Ellie grinned. Maybe not, but that's okay. We know the secret now, and we can help make Maplewood even more magical. From that day on, Ellie and Max became the best secret keepers Maplewood had ever known. They shared Stoneheart's lessons with their classmates, their neighbors, and even their families, always with a smile, always with kindness, and always from the heart. And every now and then, when the world felt a little too big or a little too scary, they would return to the Talking Rock, ready to listen, learn, and share new stories. For the true secret of Stoneheart was this: the magic of Maplewood, and the magic of every town, everywhere, lives in the hearts of those who choose to care, to help, and to believe in the power of friendship. And so, dear listener, if you ever find yourself in a faraway meadow and you come across a mossy old rock with swirly patterns, remember to speak from your heart. You never know what secrets you might discover or what adventures await when you believe in the magic of kindness. As the weeks passed, Ellie and Max's secret visits to Stoneheart became a cherished part of their lives. They would sneak away on bright afternoons or under the silvery moonlight, bringing with them questions and stories from their own adventures. One day, Ellie arrived at the rock with a heavy heart. She sat quietly, glancing at Max, who looked worried too. Their classmate Jamie had just moved to Maplewood, and some kids at school were making fun of him because he talked a little differently and wore bright, mismatched clothes. Ellie placed her hand on Stoneheart. Stoneheart, what should we do when someone is being left out? The rock glowed softly, and the familiar voice answered. Dearest Ellie, true courage is not always loud or bold. Sometimes it is the simple act of standing beside someone who feels alone. Friendship is a bridge that brings hearts together. Reach out to Jamie and let him know he belongs. Max nodded. But what if the other kids laugh at us too? Stoneheart replied. It takes bravery to do what is right, even when it is hard. Remember, kindness is a light that shines brightest in the darkness. Your actions may inspire others more than you know. The next day at school, Ellie and Max invited Jamie to play at recess. At first, Jamie was shy, but soon he was laughing and running with them. Little by little, the other kids noticed and joined in. By the end of the week, Jamie was part of their circle of friends, his bright clothes and happy spirit making everyone smile. That evening, Ellie and Max returned to Stoneheart, filled with pride. You did well, Stoneheart told them. You have added to the heart of Maplewood. The seasons changed, and with them came new challenges and adventures. In the fall, Ellie and Max helped Mrs. Jenkins collect apples from her orchard after a storm. In winter, they organised a snowman contest to cheer up their neighbours during the cold grey days. Each time, they shared their worries and hopes with Stoneheart, who always offered gentle wisdom and encouragement. One chilly spring day, while wild violets bloomed around the rock, Max asked, "Stoneheart, will you always be here?" Stoneheart's light flickered gently. "As long as kindness lives in the hearts of Maplewood's children, my spirit will remain. But true magic is not in me alone. It is in every act of caring, every story shared, and every dream dreamed with love." Ellie smiled. "We'll always remember." Years passed, and Ellie and Max grew older. They still visited Stoneheart, sometimes bringing younger children with them, teaching them the secret riddle and encouraging them to speak from the heart. The secret of the talking rock became a tradition, passed down from friend to friend, generation to generation, and the magic of Maplewood grew, shining bright in every corner of the town. One day, when Ellie and Max were grown, they returned to the meadow with their own children. The rock was still there, just as mossy and mysterious as ever. They placed their hands on its cool surface, whispered their names and waited. To their delight, the golden light glowed once more, and Stoneheart's gentle voice welcomed them back. "Welcome, old friends, and new. The story continues and you are its heart." And so the legend of the Talking Rock lived on, a beacon of magic, friendship and hope. Remember, dear listener, no matter where you are or how old you may become, the true treasures in life are the kindness you share, the friends you make, and the courage you show in caring for others. The secret of the Talking Rock is not just a story. It is a reminder that the magic of Maplewood and the magic inside you will last forever. And if you ever feel lost or unsure, just close your eyes, listen with your heart, and you may just hear the gentle rumbling voice of Stoneheart, reminding you that you are never alone. The end.